we have Namco Museum Volume 4. Why 4 in particular? I have no idea. The Namco Museum series on the original PlayStation is very cool, as unlike dozens of other Namco Museum games, the original volumes had a museum that you can walk around and view. Of course, there's also the games that are on them. Pac-Land is the best game in this collection, enough said. Loosely based on the Hanna-Barbera Pac-Man show from the early 80s, Pac-Land lets you control Pac-Man as he travels through Pac-Land to bring a lost fairy back to Fairy World. You have to avoid the ghosts as much as possible, but luckily, each round has at least 1 or 2 power pellets for you to eat in order to chomp the ghosts. Once you reach Fairy World, the Fairy Queen grants you hover boots for you to use to go back home to see your wife and kids. There are some difficult parts in the game, especially the springboards, but you'll get better once you understand the obstacles. Not only was Pac-Land one of the earliest side-scrolling platformers, but it's also considered to be the best Pac-Man sequel according to Pac-Man creator Toru Iwatani. Speaking of the TV show, in the US, Midway Games decided to alter the Pac family's look to have them look like their cartoon counterparts. They even made Pac-Man run faster too. Ultimately, the version used in the volume is the original Japanese version, which is fine because I prefer that version. This is currently one of the only releases of the Pac-Land arcade game that you can still get today. Not only is Pac-Land one of those titles often neglected in most Namco collections, but also because the other re-releases of the arcade version have all been delisted. The return of Ishtar is alright, though I do find it an improvement over its predecessor, Tower of Durega. You control both Key and Gil. Key fights with magic, while Gil fights with his sword. This is one of those Namco arcade games that were only released in Japan. In fact, all of the games in this volume, excluding Pac-Land, were never released in North America in any form. The Genji and the Hike clans is pretty decent. If you ever wanted a combination between a 2D platformer, a big-ass 2D platformer, and an RPG, then the Genji and the Hike clans is definitely for you. Ordyne is a really good shooter. You can press a button to shoot, and another button to launch bombs below your enemies. You can also visit an area where you can purchase stuff, in case if you suck at this game or something. Assault is an excellent game, but personally, I like Assault Plus better. Assault Plus is actually a hidden game, and for some reason, it's not in Assault's museum room. It's located in a black room with a pillar in the center. All you have to do is press R1, R2, L1, L2, up arrow, and triangle. After putting in this button combination, a lady will suddenly appear, so you'll need to go up to her and press X. Not so sure if I would recommend this game to a casual audience, but if you're a big Namco fan like I am, it's definitely worth picking up on the PlayStation Store, just for Pac-Land alone.